Well, one of the worst mass murderers in American history has died at the age of 100. Let us all bow our heads for a moment of silence. Not for him, of course. We don't want to bow our heads for him, but for the millions of people who lost their lives because of Henry Kissinger. The man, Henry Kissinger, neocons falling all over themselves today trying to praise him. It's amazing to watch some of the tweet threads about it, about celebrating his life, the life of Henry Kissinger, a great diplomat, an amazing statesman. All the murders, just on the side. So he passed away last night at 100 years old, according to his consulting firm, which... It's like he had to, it's like they, even in his death, they managed to like get the fact out there that the Kissinger consulting firm still exists. Like, you know, they released the information. If you want to hire someone like Henry Kissinger, well, we're still here. We release the information. If you want to learn how to warmonger around the world,
the brand lives on. The
brand lives on. Call on the Henry Kissinger and Associates consulting firm. So yes, the Henry Kissinger consulting firm released the information. Not his family, not anybody in his family, but the consulting firm. Here was Sean Hannity last night, just stunned and sort of apoplectic about the death of one of his heroes.
This is Fox News Alert, a staple of global politics, stable really for so many decades. Henry Kissinger tonight, sad news, dead at the age of 100. Now, Secretary Kissinger worked under multiple administrations. He won the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating a ceasefire in Vietnam. There's so many other accomplishments this man has had. His life background and his experience is really beyond inspiring. He was a Jewish refugee. He fled Nazi Germany with his family in 1938. He arrived in the United States. He excelled academically, graduated from Harvard, and earned an MA and PhD degrees at Harvard. Really somebody that so many look up to in so many different ways and accomplished so much.
He accomplished so much.
It's great to get a peace prize for the war that you started.
Right.
For ending the war that you started.
The one that you escalated, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say. He got a Nobel Peace Prize for a war that was a false flag, we started with a false flag.
Exactly. I mean, it's like being praised for putting out a fire that you started.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, right? Things that you escalated. You put it out? Great. Let's give you an award for that. You're fantastic. It's like, President Bush releasing a statement this morning, fawning all over him as well. You can read this. Here is Kissinger dies. America has lost one of the most dependable and distinctive voices on foreign affairs with the passing of Henry Kissinger. I've long admired the man who fled Nazis as a young boy from a Jewish family, then fought them in the United States Army. President Bush says. The statement goes even further. He's not done yet, as he continues to move along and praise him even more. When he later became Secretary of State, his appointment as a former refugee said as much about his greatness as it did about America's greatness. He worked in the administrations of 2 presidents and counseled many more. That's right. And, by the way, we'll talk about that in a second. Then he says, he continues, I'm grateful for that service and advice, but I'm most grateful for his friendship. Laura and I will miss his wisdom, his charm, and his humor. And he will always be thankful. We will always be thankful for the contributions of Henry Kissinger. Now, he normalized relations with China. That's great. Yes, he was the only person to go into communist China and then normalized relations, opened up China, and he was sort of on his own in that regard. Yes, he did that. But even a headline this morning is going beyond China to call Henry Kissinger a sex symbol. I love this headline. Diplomatic colossus, Nobel Prize winner who stared down the Soviets and became a very unlikely sex symbol. The extraordinary legacy of Henry Kissinger, who fled the Nazis, became America's most influential Secretary of State. But can we talk about
basically reads like my bio.
Right. You stared down the Soviets.
So sexy.
Became a very unlikely sex symbol.
I mean,
other
he was
than the
Jason
flood the Nazis
Bourne.
part, that's the 100% on. That's me.
Right.
Yeah. He
like
was Jason Bourne. That's when I think of Jason Bourne. I think they fashioned that after Henry Kissinger.
It's like looking in the mirror. Yeah. You and Henry Kissinger. What were you going to say?
The Jason Bourne bit.
Oh, yeah. But can we talk about all of the murder for a second? It's like saying Bill Cosby was a great comedian. Yeah, but what about all the raping he did? It's like saying O.J. Simpson was a great running back. Yeah, but what about all the murdering? Kissinger is responsible for unimaginable horrors. And in an era before 24-hour news cycles, So imagine how much worse it would have been, or we would have learned more had we had actual cameras and 4K cameras and televisions to be able to capture what he did. All around the world, the horrors that he carried out. It wasn't just in Asia, it was in Latin America. Deaths of millions of people. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how he had reporters from CBS and the New York Times in his back pocket, even had them wiretapping the newsrooms at their respective newsrooms? He stopped doing public speeches, of course, in front of uncontrollable audiences after people continued to interrupt his speeches, reminding us that he's a war criminal. Here's an example.
Go take calls for the arrest of Henry Kissinger for war crimes. Arrest Henry Kissinger for war crimes. Arrest Henry Kissinger for war crimes.
Committee will stand in recess until the Capitol police
arrest Henry Kissinger for war crimes.
In the name of the people of Chile, in the name of the people of Vietnam, in the name of the people of East Timor,
You know,
in the name of the people of Cambodia, in the name of the people of Laos.
Yeah. I remember that moment. I don't know how many of you guys remember that moment when Code Pink reminded all of us how many millions of people were killed at his hands, and he gets called before Congress to testify because they want his advice once again. Senator John McCain wants his advice. War criminal, warmonger. Watch Senator John McCain call these anti-war protesters scum.
I've been a member of this committee for many years, and I have never seen anything as disgraceful and outrageous and despicable as the last demonstration that just took place about, you're going to have to shut up or I'm going to have you arrested. Get out of here, you low-life scum.
What does he think happened in Vietnam? He was there.
What does he think happened in Cambodia? Does he care at all about it? No, he doesn't care. Why are they protesting? Well, let's talk about Kissinger's track record calling for the total carpet bombing of Cambodia, the escalation to perhaps end a war there, wiping out hundreds of thousands of innocent Cambodians, entire villages destroyed. He later claimed that they were unpopulated areas. Yeah, they're fields. There's nobody there. They're just unpopulated areas. And then in Chile,
Kissinger bombed the shit out of unoccupied areas just for fun.
Yeah. There's unpopulated.
That's what they're going with.
Right, exactly.
Nobody there.
So, what good did it do us? If they're unpopulated, what's the whole point of us doing it in the first place then? We're just going to, bomb these areas. In Chile, Kissinger installed the violent, oppressive Pinochet dictatorship, of course, disappeared tens of thousands of people who were executing their children and basically sold off. This was absolutely awful. And, Sting wrote a famous song about it called They Dance Alone. I encourage all of you to listen to that song and read the lyrics if you care to listen to it. If it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, then you're not hooked up right. The wives of these men in Chile were only allowed to protest by dancing alone with a picture of their husband. They couldn't speak about it publicly. If they spoke about the fact that the Pinochet government came in and stole their husband and killed them, they too would be, as Sting writes, wind up on the torture table and killed themselves. So the only thing they could do is in their quiet solitude basically dance alone with the memory of with their husbands and their sons. As they were sold off, they're taken and sold off, and then many of them executed as well. One of the lines that really cuts through you, if you read the lyrics of this song, and you just sit back from it from a moment, it brings tears to my eyes. Can you think of your own mother dancing with her invisible son? Like she's dancing with a picture of her invisible son who was just taken away from her by this fascist government that the United States put in place, and Henry Kissinger was solely responsible in large part for doing. Kissinger aided Pakistan in slaughtering up to 3 million people in Bangladesh. Kissinger aided the Indonesian genocide against East Timor. 30,000 people killed in Argentina thanks to Kissinger. I mean, the list is endless. These are just the ones that he was a part of while he was in government, by the way. You saw there John McCain bringing him back in, we need some more advice on how to kill some people around the world. Let's get that Kissinger guy. He's really good at doing it. No American
I wonder if that means I was gonna say, I wonder if that means we're gonna see an earmarked bill somewhere for the government buying Ouija boards, so governors or the generals can still consult him from the grave.
Right.
Well, no, we see he's still got a consulting firm.
Right. They don't. Yeah, we're gonna go into the back room here and get out the Kissinger Ouija board and try to contact him.
Yeah. What would Kissinger do?
Because Ouija boards contact demons, right? And so it's demonic stuff. So yeah, that seems to me where he would be. He'd be winding up on an Ouija board. No American has killed at the scale of Henry Kissinger. None. Yale University historian Greg Grandin, author of Kissinger's biography called Shadow, estimates that Kissinger alone from 1969 through 1976 killed between 3 and 4 million people. One person who hated Henry Kissinger was Anthony Bourdain. Chef Anthony Bourdain. This clip is trending today because he saw Kissinger's destruction everywhere that he traveled. Watch.
Henry Kissinger walks into a bar. It sounds like a joke. Henry Kissinger and a penguin walk into a bar. I'm not asking what you do, but would it displease you if I walked over and punched Henry Kissinger in the face? Would you find that entertaining? I would. Would you have a frisson of pleasure even? Would you feel that justice is in some small way served?
You hate Henry Kissinger.
I fucking hate him. Yeah. Because in my travels, I stumble across his good works everywhere I go.
Right. Let's do this.
A rabbit punch.
No, kidney punch.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Oh, my.
What does a penguin have to do in that joke?
I don't know. It's just pick anyone. Just shove in there, I guess. Anthony Bourdain once said this. He said, "Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never stop wanting to beat Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands." If you go to Cambodia and you see the wrath, the destruction of what he caused, of course you'd want to strangle him with your bare hands. So, yeah. Neocons falling all over themselves today. The ADL coming out, supporting and throwing their love behind Henry Kissinger. What a man he is, and what a statesman, what a diplomat. Just forget about all the 4 million people, 5 million people that he helped kill. Just look past that.
Well, funny enough that the ADL posted a tweet saying that Henry Kissinger was a proud Jew, and they were fact-checked by the community on Twitter or X, saying this is misleading because Henry Kissinger was in fact apologetic about his Jewish heritage, especially around Nixon and the White House counsel. They recall him saying bad things that I'm not going to say here about Jewish people. So, this is a very complicated legacy. It's interesting to see how people are using it to their advantage, to whatever narrative they want to bend. You would think that
the ADL, which has been under massive amounts of scrutiny for their corruption, you think they would have sat this one out?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to put out a tweet about Henry Kissinger.
Right.
You just think about
we should be quiet about this one?
Yeah. Can we?
No, let's just put it out there.
Yeah, just tweet it. Let's post something about this war criminal. Let's do it. Let's show our support for him. And he won the Nobel Peace Prize because, Republicans at the time pushed him, towards that side to get a Nobel Peace Prize. It's like Obama getting a Peace Prize.
Right. Yeah.
Bombing
happy Obama.
Right. He gets a Peace Prize.
Barack drone Obama.
What a joke.
How many deaths do you have to be responsible for? What is the cap? What's the maximum amount they'll allow for you to get the Nobel Peace Prize? Is it 2 million, 3 million?
Yeah.
Where's the cut?
I would love to ask that question. If I ever had a chance to interview him, that would have been my first question with a microphone. Hi, Mr. Kissinger. Thank you so much for joining us. I have a question. How many people do you have to murder in order to get the Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, he's dead. So.
Oh, I can't ask him now.
You can't ask that now.
You can't ask him now.
Your chance has
can't
passed.
Ask him now.
But he lived a long life.
To Obama, he got it pre-murders, right?
No.
No, he got
Absolutely, he did not.
He got it concurrently with murders.
At the end of Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Obama.
No. I'm talking about Obama.
Yeah.
No. Obama got it in the midst of the murders.
Yeah, in the midst of his bombing.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. They looked the other way at all the people in the Middle East that Obama was waging wars on, and still gave him the Peace Prize.
Yeah.
That's abhorrent.
Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.